Fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hand. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm Rosemary Lachance, an energy healer and a spiritual teacher.
Hi, and I'm Dina Scungio, a student of spirituality.
Tonight we are continuing our Life Explained series, which will give you food for thought information about spirituality based on the teachings of Hans Wilhelm from his series. We will play one or two different DVDs and then have dialogue about it. We encourage you to call or email us or write to NHTV with your questions, and we will answer them on the show or privately if you prefer. This is not a religious show, and no matter what religion you believe or what belief you follow, the information we give you will only enhance your beliefs. We do not try to convince you of anything. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
If you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we are available to come to your group and teach from this series. We will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Also, please visit Rosemary or Hans' website, where you will find a wealth of information about the show and this series. We also are on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box. Please like our page to receive all the information we post there. And we hope you enjoy the show.
All right, tonight is show number 167, and it is the Life Explained series, part 12. And the first DVD we're going to show you and talk about is titled Facts About Facts About Soulmates You Did Not Know. And as soon as the control room gets it up on the video, we will show it to you.
Hi, I'm Hans Wilhelm. One of the questions that I receive most is about soulmates. There's so much confusion out there. And in today's short video, I would like to share with you 5 surprising facts that you may have never have heard about before. Firstly, we have to understand that we are spiritual beings and we do have a spiritual home. And in our spiritual home, we all have a soulmate, also called a dual or a twin flame.
A soulmate is our other half that totally complements us. But only in rare cases, soulmates incarnate together at the same time. And in such cases, they often have committed themselves to help the world with some wonderful work like a new teaching or a healing or anything else that would be of great benefit to society and planet Earth. In such cases, soulmates incarnate together to help each other in order to fulfill their monumental task. But for most of us, it's a different story. Most of us are here for less lofty reasons. So my answer to the question, how can I find my soulmate, may surprise many. We are not supposed to be with our soulmate here on Earth. Let me explain, because this goes against many New Age teachings. Remember when we were young and had a real close buddy? It may have been our best friend, our sister, our brother, our mother, our father, grandparents, or anybody else whom we felt extremely close to. It could have even been our pet. Someone who was always there for us and helped us, comforted us, and on whom we could totally depend. And then one day our parents sent us off to college. Now what happened? Suddenly we are all alone, facing the whole new world with new challenges all on our own. None of our friends, our family members, not even our dog or security blanket came with us to help us, comfort us, and hold our hand as we were facing this great unknown world. The same happens when we incarnate. As cruel as it may appear initially, it is all part of our spiritual evolutionary process. We are left to our own devices here on Earth. We are here to learn to listen to our own inner divine guidance and follow our own intuition. So why don't we have somebody like a soulmate by our side? We are here to become aware of the love within us and to express it. This divine love that is in all of us is our true strength and power in our life, our connection with divinity. We have all heard about this God within, or Christ within, or the kingdom is within. But it is not easy to understand and to appreciate this process and rely on this inner power. Instead, whenever we feel low in energy, we usually crave and draw energy from the outside world. May it be energy from other people, food, drugs, or many other sources. What we are really looking for is love. But if we rely too much on the strength, guidance, or love from another human being, like for instance our soulmate, we are not learning the most profound lesson, that we don't need love because we are love. We are all one with God. I think Byron Katie put it so well when she said, "If I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. Amen." We have to learn total self-acceptance and self-approval, and to become secure with ourselves, totally free of the need to be loved and approved and appreciated by other people. In other words, we firstly have to marry ourselves. If we crave for a partner to love us and to give our life purpose, we put a terrible burden on that partner. Part of our reason why we are here on earth is to discover this inner jewel, this divine love within us. And to achieve it, we initially have to embark on this quest alone. Our soulmate would only distract us. That's why we go to college alone. And in the same way, earth is also a college for our soul. But that does not mean we should spend our life alone here on earth. Living alone in seclusion is not helpful for our spiritual growth. We need other people to interact with and to love and serve. Therefore, we may not have our soulmate with us, but we surely can have a soul partner, or even several soul partners. Our soul partners are here to support and to challenge us. A soul partner is different from a soulmate. As we've discussed earlier, a soulmate is somebody who totally completes and complements us. Somebody who is in total harmony with us, just like two halves making one whole. There are no frictions between these two halves. Just like a raw diamond, which needs cutting, grinding, and polishing before it sparkles, so do we need some friction to grow and develop. And a soulmate does not give that to us. Comfort and evolution don't go together. Now, a soul partner is a little different to a soulmate. He or she is also somebody we can feel very close to. We can experience profound and deep love, bliss and oneness with them. May it be in marriage, friendship, business relationship, or even with members of our immediate family. But the soul partner gives us more than our soulmate can give us. They challenge us, they frustrate us, yes, they can even drive us crazy. And that is part of their duty, because they are here to reflect back to us what we still have to learn and overcome, or what we have to learn to love. Whatever upsets us in our partner is usually a reflection of our own shortcomings. The soul partners are our mirrors. If you want to know more about this fascinating dynamic, I suggest you may want to watch my short video on the law of projection. Our soul partners are wonderful and helpful substitutes for our soulmates, and we have often spent many, many lifetimes together with them.
Once we have discovered and developed this divine love within ourselves, we will see the world very differently. Instead of looking for our one and only soulmate, we will then suddenly understand on a much deeper level that in actuality, everybody around us is, in truth, also our soulmate. Because there is no separation, it is all one. There's only one of us.
Think about this. Isn't any person we are interacting with right now, strictly speaking, the most important person in our life at this moment? Just like our soulmate? And when we truly come from love, we are basically in love with everyone and everything. We will then treat everyone with reverence and respect, just like we would treat our own personal soulmate. And then we have used our years at Earth College wisely.
Well, What did you think of that?
Very interesting.
Let me explain to you one thing before you get started. Like he said, there's a difference between soulmates and duals. We all have a dual. For every male that God created, he created a female partner for that male in spirit. So somewhere in this universe is our partner.
Is that the same as a soulmate?
No.
No.
It's a dual. It's other part of us. We're together forever, family, and we have children together and all that. A man and a woman, male and female spirit. Soulmates are people. You're my soulmate. You're my daughter, but you're my soulmate. They're people that you meet all over the place, and then they're people that you marry, or your brothers and sisters, or whatever. Anybody is what he's saying can be a soulmate to teach you things. They rub up against you. They make you think, about yourself and things. And that's, like he said, that's what school is here for. Because if our dual was here, we wouldn't want to bother with anybody else. We would just want to be with them 24 hours a day, all the time.
Our dual?
Our dual. That's the difference. Soulmates and duals. Okay?
Wouldn't you want to be with your soulmate all the time?
No,
both?
If the dual was here, like I said, that's why he said we don't incarnate with them. Usually we do not, unless we have a mission together that they have to work out, to help other people together. But other than that, unless they're so highly evolved, other than that, the dual doesn't come because you'd be so much in love with them and you'd be so, you'd be one with each other and you would exclude everybody else out. And there would be no lessons to be learned because you're just happy. You got the one you love.
Well, so you're saying the dual is the soulmate?
No, I'm saying a dual is a dual and a soulmate is everybody else who comes into your life.
Okay.
Your husband, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, friends, they're all could be soulmates. People think soulmate means just a romantic love, but it's not. Like he said,
that's the way it's always been explained.
Right,
Yeah.
I know that. That's the earthly explanation for it. But it's anyone who helps you to learn things. Even if they aggravate the heck out of you, that's what we're here for. So that when we realize, like he said, what aggravates you in someone else, you have that same trait in you. People don't want to hear that. When I first heard it, oh, God. No, it can't be. But it was when I started looking at myself and picking out these little things apart. I said, wow, I do have those same kind of traits in me. This is a school. This is Earth College, as Hans calls it. All right, go ahead, ask your questions.
Well, I don't know that I 100% agree with that because there are things about people that aggravate me about what they do and how they act. And, like I don't like people who don't treat other people fairly. And their traits in them that really tick me off.
Yeah, well,
I don't think that's a reflection of anything in me.
That's different. This isn't like I remember with my mother. We'd sit and have a conversation, and she'd say certain things, and I would just get angry. It would just rub me the wrong way. I would just get upset with her little.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Like you get with me sometimes, right? And I thought, why? What is it about her, But I couldn't figure it out until they told me that, till I learned this. And I said, oh, my goodness. I do have those traits that she does, that aggravate me in her. I act that same way. Sometimes I'll make a statement, I'll think, oh, my God, my mother said I used to say that. Things like that, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But if you're angry at someone who abuses someone else or puts someone down or makes fun of someone or hurts animals or hurts children or cheats and all, that's different. Those are things in the world that people do.
Oh.
We're talking about more intimate stuff. Okay? So you can't say I don't agree because this is the word of the law of God. But go ahead.
Someone said to me once, you can't pick and choose things out of the Bible that you like and discard the other things. And I always think to myself, well, sometimes I think that certain things weren't meant the way they were written. I mostly agree with the stuff that's in there. There are some things, not off the top of my head that I remember right now, but there are things in there that I don't it doesn't, like you say in the beginning, if it doesn't feel right to you, then, you move on. It's not that, you're doing anything bad. or different. It's just the way it feels, the way things resound inside of you, and
Well, that's why, like I told you, the Bible's a history book written by people who were thinking differently in those days. I went to a Bible study class to learn what was the thing about the Bible that people, were so enthralled. And I found out that the Bible study teacher was wonderful, and he made me realize that that's the way they thought in those days. And so they wrote from those kinds of thoughts.
Right.
Okay? That in the Bible, the most important thing is the Ten Commandments and the Sermon on the Mount. That is the whole truth, and that the rest of it is hearsay. Some of it's good, there's just good and there's bad in there. So you have to take what works for you. The people who quote from the Bible to hurt someone, they're really not quoting it right.
I agree with your soulmate's not supposed to be with you here on Earth because you won't learn. Because I think that's pretty true. And the whole your partner or your soul partner or your husband
soulmate.
or whatever that the one that you are close with is supposed to challenge you and support you and help you learn and grow. Do we get reincarnated with the same group of people all the time, or?
We usually do, because they're part of our spiritual family when we get back home. Okay, so we usually incarnate with the same people, and we take different positions. Now, sometimes someone from another clan, so to speak, will incarnate into a certain family on this planet because there's something they need to learn from this family that they couldn't get from their own family. So they'll mix it up. You'll get mixed up at different times. But mostly, it's your own until you all work things out, until things are worked out the way they're supposed to be, until you learned what you're supposed to learn. They learn what they were supposed to learn. If you, in this life, you were not a good mother, but you got back and you couldn't figure out, what do you mean? I'm a good mother, and I didn't do anything, and you couldn't see it. Okay, next time you're going to come back, and that child that you were not nice to is going to be your mother. And it's going to be done to you, and then you're going to, oh my God, when you get back, you're going to say, now I understand, That's the whole importance of reincarnation.
Well, how do you figure, how does a clan become a clan to begin with? Like, how do you become with these certain souls that you keep coming back with?
Well, when we're on, and God created us, He made the spiritual families. He made the duals together, and then they had children, and then you have like grandchildren. Only thing is, no one ever ages, so they're all part of our family. Okay. So that's why what these people are in the family circle. I mean, we're all family when we get back home, but in the other different levels and planes, we're family with them.
Oh, okay. So we still have things to learn from each other each time we all come back together.
And some of us come back with an assignment. This is what you have to do at this time. If you want to learn this, you have to do this and this and this. But then, of course, when we come here, we forget. Because if we didn't, it would be like reading a script. And what did we ever learn? We didn't really learn anything. We just did what the script said.
Yeah, that's true. It took me a long time to understand that part about why don't we remember when we come back, because it doesn't make any sense to me, but it took a long time to figure it out.
We yearn for our duals. We yearn for them because we look for them in other people, and we feel like we can't be total and whole unless we have someone. But see, that's not the way it is. We have to become total and whole ourselves. Be that person that we are looking for. And then we meet that person. Like attracts like. So we become a whole person. We attract another whole person. That's how it works.
But aren't you a whole person when you're together before you incarnate here? Aren't you and your soulmate a whole person, or your soul dual?
Are you talking
whatever?
soulmate or dual?
Dual.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what the thing is, the things that we do here, that are not right, because we don't remember our duals. We don't remember what our mission was in this lifetime.
Well, we know that we have someone out. Pretty much everybody I've ever talked to knows they have a soul, what they call a soulmate out there somewhere. They don't know, if they'll ever meet them in this lifetime. But everybody pretty much knows they have someone that's meant for them. It's just that they don't know if they'll ever see them in this lifetime or not.
Why don't they know that? Do they know about reincarnation? Do they know about life after death?
Well, the people that believe in that do.
The ones that believe in that, right?
Yeah, they believe. I mean, they don't. Not everybody thinks that they're going to meet their other half on this lifetime. A lot of people are searching, and I think sometimes that yearning is what. When maybe they came and they really didn't want to come, and because they wanted to stay with their soulmate, and they end up wasting a lifetime searching for them instead of getting done what they have to get done.
So they come back and they start all over again from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like my friend used to say, as long as I got to be here anyway, I might as well learn my lessons, And once you become aware of reincarnation and you become aware of your missions and all of that, and the spiritual families and all these things we're trying to tell people about, then it's easier for you. Then you'll see when things happen to me, I say, okay, what's the lesson for me to learn in that? It's self-analyzation all the time. At the end of the day, you go home and you analyze yourself. What did I do that was good? What did I do that wasn't so good? What did I learn today? What did I turn my back on today? And all these things you have to go within and work it out with yourself and really think about it. But the people who cry victims...
How did I treat others?
Yeah,
and all
right.
that.
But when you come home and said, Sally treated me terrible, and Jim, he was an old mess-up person, and this guy was awful and terrible, you're crying victim. They're not going to learn anything because you're going to blame everything on everyone else. And that's not the way it is.
That's a high trait on this planet.
It is a high trait. You're right, exactly. It's easier that way. Then we don't have to do anything about ourselves. We don't have to change. We don't have to do any fixing. We're perfect. You're wrong. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. And you're sitting there going, I'm not wrong. You're wrong. In your mind. Nobody ever gets anywhere like that.
It's tough because a lot of people don't know this, and they, how do they learn? I mean, how do they learn that? I learned it because I grew up with you, and you found it. But there are a lot of people out there who don't know, and a lot of. I don't want to say this without making people angry, but a lot of times when I was young and I went to certain churches, it was more preaching about fear of this, fear of that, fear of the other, no love. So nobody felt loved. I mean, even my husband, when he growing up, he was afraid to... He remembers as a kid being afraid to do this, being afraid to turn, being afraid to do that, because he was always afraid that if he did any little thing wrong, he'd be going to hell, he'd be damned.
Well, I have to say, honestly, that's a ways and means that organized religion keeps you tied to whatever the religion is. Because as long as you're with that religion, they'll save you. Somehow they'll save you. No matter what you did wrong, you get last rites, you get confession, or whatever the other religions do, and you'll be saved. See, so that eliminates you having to work on yourself. And they put the fear in you, so you'll stay tied. And that's sad, and that's wrong.
But you don't work on yourself when you're constantly terrified.
No.
You just don't do anything at all.
Because if you worked on yourself, you wouldn't need that kind of religion. Just spiritual, just being spiritual, which is loving one another. The two most important things in the world is do unto others as you want them to do to you, and don't do to anyone what you don't want done to you. Those were the golden rules. Now they're part of the commandments, so there's really 12. Those two. If everyone did that, it'd be great.
I think that the one thing that organized religion is good for is that it brings a lot of people together and for a purpose, whether it be loving God or whatever. But a lot of people come together and they are of like mind for an hour once a week, and everybody's being good to everybody and whatnot. And I think it's a good idea in that respect.
It is, but those people can form their own little groups and get together the same way without the fear that's being taught to them.
So
how many people sit in a church, any church or building that they get together in, and are bored, and they can't wait for it to get over, and everything is done like robot. Everything is This is come next, that come next. Get down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And how many people going, oh, I can't wait to get out of here. What kind of worship is that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One of the things that Hans said in his video is about seeing and treating everyone you meet as a soulmate, and that's pretty difficult. That's a very difficult thing to accomplish on this planet because there are so many souls and different levels of progression that you can love them from afar, but you can't love them up close because they're just not people you can love.
No, I know. Well, you're not going to have that closeness with everybody that you meet. You're not going to be able to love. You don't love the person. You don't love their traits. You don't love what they're doing. That's not acceptable behavior to you. But you love the God in them, and the Christ spark that's in their hearts. You love them because basically you're both spirits, and someday you'll all be together again. But not approving of what they do and saying, and that makes you angry. That can't be helped. So
I know being younger, and I was always of the when I love somebody, no matter who it is, I love them no matter what. Mm-hmm. Whether it was a friend or anyone, if I love them, I love them. And there are there are a lot of people out there who don't know how to accept that. Don't know how to accept that at all.
Mm-hmm. I know. Say that again.
There are a lot of people out there who don't know how to accept when you love them. They don't know how to take it.
They don't know how to take it, right?
They don't know how to take
That's what yeah.
And they misunderstand it, or they misdirect it.
Well, people who don't love themselves have a hard time accepting love from anyone. And I know that because I've been through that. Okay? Because you feel that you're not worthy. And if they're telling you that, they're just, what do you want to say, pulling your strings? What is the word? They're fooling you. They must want something from you. You can't just believe. Like my mother, when somebody used to do something nice for her, she used to say, but why did they do that? I never did anything for them. Why do they treat me so nice? And from that statement, I realized that she didn't love herself. And I realized how I learned that.
Well, there are people out there that, I've always been this way, this person. I've always been the kind of person where if I love you, I love you. I'll do anything for you. Mm-hmm. But there are people that just, they don't, I don't know how to say it, but like I've had a friend that I've loved, loved dearly, and I don't think she ever realized that. Some people take it as an attachment. Some people take it as an infringement. They don't understand that you can just love them. Just love them. I just love who I like being in their company. I like being around them, and that's all it means.
So what does she think it meant?
I think some people think that it means you're too close. I don't feel the same, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to, like he says, to see and treat everyone you meet as soulmates. That's not easy. And there are a lot of people that don't accept that, and so you have to take a few steps back. And
see, the soulmate is been misused and misunderstood in our life. It's just that's what it means. You to the meaning that we think it is. That's not what he's talking about. It's just what I just said. Just think of everybody. That's your brother and your sister. No matter if they live on this planet, other planets, wherever they are in the whole universe, we're all created by God, so they're all brothers and sisters. And because of that, you love that person. And I don't mean not a love that you have a romantic love, or not a love you have for your family. Naturally, you can't feel that way, but just a kinship, kind of a kinship with them, knowing that, okay? Say, I don't love the acts that you commit, but I love you because you're my brother or and my sister,
right.
Okay? That kind of thing. You have to look past that shell, and you have to look past what they do. And then you don't want to be around them. You don't want to be their friend, because what they do is just, it's wrong, and everyone knows it's wrong.
Right, yeah.
But you just bless them and walk away and leave them.
Try to tell them they're doing something wrong, and if they don't take it, you got to walk away.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times they won't take it.
No.
Is there anything else you want to say about this? Any more questions?
No, well, learning self-acceptance and self-approval is a a whole long discussion in and of itself. So that's.
Is there a question you have about it?
No. I just know that it's a really long, difficult road, especially when you're brought up in a family where you, especially in the old days when I was a kid, we used to always hear the children are to be seen and not heard thing. And
But I didn't use that much with you, as we.
no, Bob did. Though.
Oh, well, it was used with us when I was a child.
And even when you were a kid.
Yeah, that was really used. But the children have great wisdom, because when they come over, they still have the ability to hear spirit, communicate with spirit, see things that as we get older, we lose that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a child who's saying, "Oh, Mommy, did you see that one? Or did you see this?" And they say, "No," why is he doing that? Because he really do see it.
Yeah.
And we just sometimes we get afraid and discourage them, and that's wrong.
Well, I think people are being a lot better these days with their kids. They're really taking the time and enjoying their children more than they did when
I think so too.
We were young. So
I think so too.
I think it's a whole new world, and people are appreciating children a whole lot more, and that's fantastic.
The thing is, the bottom line here is learn to love yourself. When you love yourself, you can love anyone.
Right.
But if you can't love yourself, you can't give love, and you can't accept love. So that's the most important thing. That's what he's talking about. That's what I'm saying. When you become a whole person, which means that, then you meet someone else who does that too. Not a soulmate. I mean, not a dual, but a soulmate. Someone who has learned that law also. And together you work together. Maybe you get married or be friends or whatever it is. Whatever's going to happen.
People want to learn that, but a lot of times they just don't know how.
I know.
How do they learn? They don't know
All right,
how
that's
to
what I
learn.
wanted to tell you. You say, how can they learn that? Well, I really can't say, because all I know is one day back in 1975, all of a sudden I said, enough. I'm not getting what I need from my religion. I have so many questions that they can't answer. I need to find the answers. Life does not make sense for me the way they explain it. So I went on my own quest, reading everything I could put my hands on, joining different groups, listening to what they say. When I felt it was right, I'd stay. When I heard something I didn't care for, I left, went to another. And that's what I did until I finally found a group and a teaching that I really enjoyed. And I said, this is something I can believe in. So that's what everybody has to do on your own, by yourself. Wake up and say, are you really happy with your life? Do you really believe these things that people are telling you? Do you want to find out the truth for yourself? Then go on your quest and learn. And that's what we're trying to do here with this show, is to tell people there are many ways to think. There are alternative ways to think and feel and believe and worship and whatever. Go out and find what works for you. That's all. Just works for you.
So that you can live a better, happier life.
Yeah.
You want to be able to wake up every morning and have that zest for life, that feeling that comes from the pit of your stomach that you can't wait to get going.
And bad things will still happen, because they do. But they're
that's
lessons.
when faith comes in.
You'll realize that those are lessons.
Right.
Okay?
Right. It takes a long time, but it comes. It comes if you want it to.
I know. All right, you want to go on to the next video?
Yeah, let's do
The
that.
second one, as soon as the control room puts it up, it's about guardian angels.
Hi, I'm Hans Wilhelm. And in this video in the Life Explained series, I would like to talk about guardian angels. Who are these angels? Why are they here? And how can we communicate with them? Let's start with the first question.
Who are these angels that are mentioned in the psalm? For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. These angels are also called guardian spirits. They are highly evolved spiritual beings from the pure heavens. They are pure light beings, and the light that radiates from them has often been interpreted by those who can see them as huge wings. These wings also represent their incredible speed. This explains all the traditional images of angels with wings in virtually all cultures throughout history. But now we know that wings would be pretty useless for zipping across the universe. As we heard before, the guardian angel is a gift given to us all from God to ensure a faster return to our true home, the pure heavens. They are usually part of the same core family group of which we are also part of as spiritual beings. These highly evolved pure spiritual beings are here to ensure that no unplanned danger or misfortune will happen to us. They are by our side, they will serve and help us throughout our earthly lives, and they are with us whether we believe in them or not. In other words, we are never really alone. One or even more guardian spirits are with us right from birth, and some children up to about the age of 3 are able to see and communicate with their angel. Now, we adults are rather smug about this and we call them their imaginary friends. But these children are seeing what we no longer can see. The guardian spirit is connected with us via a ribbon of light, a spiritual bond. And through this ribbon of light, they can sense all our emotional sensations. And via this band, the spiritual guide also sends to us their sensation of love, peace, and guidance. The spiritual guide communicates with us via this light ribbon. For instance, whenever we are making the right choices in life, like forgiving somebody, helping others, or creating harmony, or caring for nature, we may feel this inner joy right here in our solar plexus. It is the joy of the guardian spirit that he sends to us for having a job well done. But the guardian spirit also warns us via our conscience when we are about to make some harmful decisions against ourselves or others. We can actually feel an uneasy, queasy sensation right here in our solar plexus. We recognize this as our gut feeling. That is our guardian spirit warning us when we are about to act against the divine laws of love. And if we persistently do not listen to our conscience and feel, act, speak, or think against our conscience, our vibration changes and our spiritual guide will distance himself a little so that he doesn't get affected by our negative vibration. For instance, if we are angry, upset, or jealous, or have any other strong negative emotions, these emotions are just like lightning bolts, like sparks that we send out. And they keep our guardian spirit even further away from us. This is one of the many reasons as to why meditation is so important, so that we can get into harmony and peace again, with which allows us, this guardian spirit, to come again closer back to us and guide us better. The guardian spirit is not a genie that will fulfill our earthly wishes for wealth, fame, and comfort and whatever. He will only guide us so that we can make light-filled decisions and help us undo our negative burdens, also called karma. He helps us to get off the karmic wheel so that we no longer have to incarnate into the physical world. But he will never interfere with our free will, even if this leads to more and new karma. If you're interested, you may want to watch my video called How Karma Works. It is good to know that we also will be such bright light beings again once we have replaced our karma with love and compassion. And we are here to love, serve all of creation, all human beings, animals, and plants and mineral kingdoms. This leaves us to the final question of communicating with our guardian spirit. As I said, they always communicate with us, with guidance, warnings, or even messages. But for us to perceive them well, it helps us to be in a more relaxed mood, like a meditation. I would suggest sitting in a comfortable chair, both feet on the ground, the back of our hand resting on our thighs and the arms pulled back. And we start with some deep and slow breaths, filling our whole lungs right down into our abdomen. And as we do this, we gently push the belly button out as much as we can. We hold it for about 3 seconds, and then we breathe out slowly and relax the abdomen. We repeat this several times until all tension around our solar plexus area are gone and our thoughts have calmed down. Once we have reached a deeper state of relaxation and inner stillness, we can invite our guardian spirit to help and guide us. So we can do this in thoughts or even verbally. This is also a great moment where we may feel or perceive the unconditional love that surrounds us. In this moment we could say, and for instance, please tell me what it is that I need to know today. Now, everybody will perceive answers by the guardian spirit differently. Some may get images, ideas, words, or thoughts, impressions. Others may feel a sensation or emotion. And some may actually hear a reply coming up within them. And some will have no responses whatsoever. And in such cases, the response may most likely come later, like in a certain song on a radio or bumper sticker or anything else that suddenly gets our full attention.
I like to add that when it comes to difficult problems, challenges, or situations where I need clarification, I always personally go directly to the top, right to source energy, right to God, right to Christ, because I know the guardian spirits always work on their behalf. Let us also not forget to express our most sincere and deep gratefulness to these non-physical beings for their constant guidance and help and protection. This gratefulness brings us much closer together. Please feel free to share this video with anybody who you think may enjoy it. Thank you for watching.
Okay. You have your questions?
So yeah, your guardian angel, do you have the same one throughout your entire life, or do they
Usually
change
you do.
up, or?
You do. And you usually sometimes you have more than one. We all have angels, guides, teachers, and animals, spirit animals around us to protect us and to teach us and to lead us and everything. We're always, if we could be quiet enough to communicate with them, we would never feel alone again. And the only way to communicate, to get quiet enough, is to start learning to meditate.
I have to learn to meditate.
Really, learning to meditate is just being able to quiet your mind, because they're always talking to us. They're always trying to get through to us, and it's like they're getting a busy signal all the time. We can't hear them. We can't hear them. You know, I remember many times in my life when I was told to no, forget this. I'm walking out the door, and all of a sudden something says, "Don't forget your key. Didn't take that." You know, and I know that it's them. Once I was driving the car and I wasn't looking up, and I was about to hit a car in front of me, and all of a sudden somebody said, "Stop," you know, and I stopped, you know, and this has happened throughout my life. But you got to be quiet enough to be able to hear that.
Sometimes the only time I hear stuff is when I'm either just falling asleep or just waking up. I hear.
And why do you think that is?
Because that's when you're the quietest.
Right.
Yeah. But I've heard my name yelled out, and for no reason, and it's like, I remember not that long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I'm laying in bed and I'm just starting to doze, and I'm trying to quiet down, and next thing I know, I hear someone yell my full name out.
Really?
Dina, and I'll. Hello.
Probably just let you know that they're there.
And I completely agree with the you can see your guardian angels when you're a kid, but I saw mine when I was 10, up to when I was 10, because I remember when my papi died, my grandpa, and he came to visit, and I didn't understand any of that then. I was only 10 years old, and I was sleeping, and my guardian angel showed up in a brown robe with a golden belt, and started walking with me and walking up a mountain. This was not long after my grandpa died, because him and I were really close. He used to take me everywhere. And when I got up to the top of the mountain, there was my grandpa with another cloaked being with a golden robe, and when I saw him, he had the bluest eyes ever, and his hair, he had a full head of gray hair, and his hair was blowing in the wind, and I was so happy to see him. I went running over, and I was like, "Poppy, Poppy," I couldn't believe it, and I didn't know I was dreaming, and he gave me a big hug, and I said, "When are you coming home?" And he's like, I'm not coming back. And I'm like, I don't understand, and this was 10, and then I remember after he said, "Tell your mom and your grandma that I'm okay and that everything's fine." And so I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll tell them." And then when I got up, I came into into the kitchen, and Mom and Grandma were sitting there, and I said, "I just saw Poppy," and they're like, "What?" And I told them everything that I'd seen, and the both of them started bawling. I remember that. I'll never forget that. That was pretty interesting.
I've seen my guardian angel in my dreams, Many times, even at the older age, 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s.
Their face?
No, I've seen them.
Oh.
I remember one time one of them took me up to a different level, and he had like hold of the back of my shirt and going up, and I could hear the wind going shh like this, and I knew he was up there and pulling me up and upward many times. And I bet you all you people out there, I bet a lot of you have had this experience also.
Mm-hmm. I haven't. I don't think. Well, you meditate a lot too, so I think you're closer
as much as I
in
can,
touch.
yeah.
Yeah. I have a really hard time.
Meditating?
Yeah, quieting in the brain.
It's not easy to quiet that brain, but you got all it can do is practice, 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 practice. You have to keep trying and keep trying. And one day, all of a sudden, you go, oh, gee, I was quiet there for a little while, and you'll get better and better and better. That's the only way to do it.
Someone told me, I don't know if it was you, but somebody told me that you should start out by sitting there and thinking of a room, just an empty box with in a room. You're in a room and it's an empty box and there's nothing in there. So I sit there and I start to think about this empty box, and whoop, somebody pops their head in, and I push them out. And whoop, somebody pops their head, and I push. I'm more busy pushing people out of my freaking empty box than having an empty box. So I give up.
You could also focus on like a flower, a rose, an animal's face, something like that. Focus on something like that. Try to do that, Or what I'll do sometimes is I'll pick a spot, like right here in my head, and I'll concentrate on that spot, this particular place on my head, and just keep zeroing in on it and keep everything dark. And then I get quiet,
Really?
Yeah. But you're going to, and then sometime when you first start, when I was told, when the thoughts come in, let them come in. Don't fight it, and just let them float by your head. Oh, got to go get the laundry after. Okay, bye, thanks.
It's like inner memos.
Yeah, inner memos. That's
but
cool.
They won't stop.
You got to stop. You got to say, hey, that's enough now. I got enough. It's all up to you. It's all up to you, and you're going to love the results. You'll start to see spirit things, and you'll see when you're walking around, you'll see, like I see spirit animals and things like that.
Oh,
all that.
I've talked to so many people that have had that. They've seen different things like that. I just talked to somebody tonight who was telling me that she had a pact with her grandmother, and that if whoever passed away first, which she was hoping it wasn't her, one of them would get back to the other one, just like you and I have that pact. Mm-hmm. And that her grandmother got back to her from the other side and said that it was basically told her that the transition was amazingly easy, and that it was amazing, and she was just she cried, she bawled. So there's a lot of proof out there, and the guardian angels, I think that most people believe in them, honestly.
The guardian angels are always around you, always. The people we love who have passed over, they are not always around you because they have to go to school over there, and they have to learn things over there just like they did here until they're ready to incarnate once more. When you talk to your guardian angels, if you talk to God or Jesus Christ, you can have your thoughts. You can think. When you're talking to them, you can talk in your mind. They can hear you. God can always read your mind and hear you, just like Santa Claus, right? But when you talk to your guardian angels, they can hear your high angels, your teachers, your guides. They can hear you some, but the better to talk out loud to them. And if you're talking to your loved ones, your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, whoever went over, talk out loud. They can't read your mind. Always remember that. You have to talk out loud to them. And sometimes they'll come visit you, or they'll come with a message. Like I talked out loud to your brother, and I said, if you're around me, give me this sign. And I picked an animal. And after I did, I said, please, and I said it out loud, and I asked him a few times. Well, after that, I started seeing this animal everywhere.
Oh, really?
And I knew that was our sign, and then I knew that he was letting me know.
Yeah, I picked, for him, I picked the dragonfly. And whenever I see it, he's around me with the dragonfly.
Yeah.
I have his picture in a frame with dragonflies all around the outside of the frame.
Yeah.
So, and I know when he's around, I'm thinking about him. A dragonfly will come and hang near me, and mostly in the summer, but
yeah.
I'll see one on TV,
or
I'll see one on the internet or something like that.
That's how they
something
were.
will pop up. And his smell is a cigarette.
Yeah.
because he used to smoke. So whenever he's around, I smell cigarettes.
Well,
and it's in a place where there's no cigarettes around.
Okay.
None.
I didn't see the real animal. I saw pictures of, and I saw statues, and I saw on television a show about it just came up, and things like that. That's how you know.
Yeah, that and the song that I heard when we were on the way, when I was on my way down to clean his place out in Atlanta on the plane, and the song came on. I don't know why I was listening to the airplane radio thing, and I never do that. And it was cloudy. It was about to snow, and I was going to. I was looking out the window, and the sun all of a sudden came through the clouds, and the song came on.
Tarzan, the song
The
from
Tarzan, yeah. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Tarzan
I'll be
song.
there. That's the name of it. Yeah.
And every time I'm feeling horrible and things are going bad, that song will come on the radio, and I know he's hanging around saying,
Yeah.
"Don't give up, keep going."
Right.
You know. So, and I think that. I mean, do you think that your loved ones, when they pass on, do they ever become sort of maybe guardian angels
Yes.
too?
Oh yeah. There's a great book called "A Wanderer in the Spirit Lands." A Wanderer in the Spirit Lands, and if you can't get it down fast enough, get in touch with me, and I'll tell you the title again. You can order it through Amazon, and it tells you about this man who passed over, and what he went through, and how he started. First, he started revolting against everything, and then he got better and better, and better and better, and he learned, and he grew, and he got better, and then he got to the point where he was coming and helping people, and then one day he became a guardian angel. So, yeah, we can do that. So it's a great book, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Just keep an open mind about everything, you know.
Do your loved ones that pass on? I mean, I know they have to go to school, they have things to learn and things like that. But did they continue to hang around you for the rest of your life? Do you think, or do
No.
you?
Sometimes they'll go on to another incarnation,
And you won't
hear from
feel
them too much.
right, yeah.
No, you might feel them because they can send you. When we're on the other side, we send through what we would call brain waves, but they're not brain waves. We don't have brains, but we no, it's not. What's the word I'm thinking of? Psychically, I guess we send messages to each other like we do here. Well, we do that in spirit also. We don't talk with like when I have dreams, I'm not moving my mouth talking to anyone. I'm communicating mentally.
Right,
Do you
right,
realize that too? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not moving our mouths. We're mentally. When you're on the other side, if you want to be across the room, you just think, I want to be there, and you're there.
Right.
You don't walk. You're
Right.
there. You know.
But
It's
it
that kind of
seemed
thing.
like when he first passed away, we didn't hear or see him much. And then as time went on, maybe when he got more comfortable and I started to hear more from him, I started to see more signs. I started to hear things, you know, and
Well, first he had to rest from this incarnation. It's the first thing we do. That movie. What's the name of that movie that I had you see? Then I forget.
oh, the one that I wasn't that thrilled
Yeah,
with.
because you didn't like to see the purgatory thing.
Yeah.
But Astral City.
Astral City.
Astral
yeah.
City is excellent to show you what happens when you pass over from the start and the beginning. The only thing is,
Oh, it's sad.
it's in a foreign language, but you can read
With
the
subtitles, yeah.
But after a while, you start reading them. It goes like
But
mad.
it was
It's a
kinda depressing.
Great movie. Oh, in the beginning, because he went to a place that wasn't so nice in the beginning, because that's what he imagined it would be like after, and we go where we imagine. And we're people like that. But the minute he said he didn't want to be there anymore, he believed and he wanted to be out of there, they took him right out. So you got to see this. So those two things I recommend: Astral City and A Wanderer in the Spirit Lands. Okay? But getting back to guardian angels, they're always around us. They're always with us. Always, always. They don't force anything on us. They don't try to make us change, or anything. They just give us suggestions sometimes, gentle guidance, save our life sometimes,
Yeah,
save us from
safety.
hurting
Ourselves or others.
or others,
Maybe that last minute thought in the back of the head, I shouldn't be doing this kind of thing.
You hear it's like your conscience.
Stop texting while you're driving.
Yep. Stop. Things like that. So, anything else? I see that were coming in contact with people who have some of the same beliefs, huh?
Well, more and more here and there, people start to, when they realize what your beliefs are, they start to tell you more about.
Really?
When you attract that kind of light around you, you start to attract people who want to tell you their story. Everybody's got a story about something that's happened to them. I think most people, I mean, other than some of those people that Hans talked about on the last show about, some people are just from a vibration that you can't change, you can't they just need to get away from them.
Yeah.
There's just some of those
Unfortunately, there are
souls.
some people like that, yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, I've met a lot of people in my life and in my job that are, they do believe in guardian angels. Most people believe in reincarnation.
Really?
I've found more people than not that believe in it. Yeah. I think at least once a week I talk with somebody about something like that.
That's great.
Yeah. I did want to say before we go to our end of our shows.
We've got about 4 minutes left.
We got 4 minutes left. I'm wearing pink don't forget to wear your pink. For the month of October, we're supporting breast cancer. Get your mammograms early and keep on top of it. Unfortunately, we probably they'll never release a cure like you were saying in this world, or in this country at least, but always be aware of it, especially women. Always be aware. Wear your pink for the month of October. Get your mammograms early, and do the right thing. Live. Life is meant to be lived.
When she made that statement that they'll never release the cure, I truly believe, and so many other people, that there is a cure for cancer. And people have tried to bring it out through the years, and they have gotten killed, and they have disappeared. And the reason being that it makes a lot of money for a lot of people, trillions and billions and millions of dollars for so many people. It keeps people in jobs, and unfortunately they'll never let the cure known. So that's very sad, and I'm very disappointed in my brothers and sisters for doing that, but there's nothing we can do about it. So try to stay healthy, try to eat healthy, have healthy thoughts. Really have healthy thoughts. Healthy thoughts mean a lot.
Most important thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I go to bed with something on my mind, I don't sleep very well. But if I go to bed and I feel peaceful, I sleep wonderful. And my stomach doesn't bother me, Everything bothers my stomach. But if I'm feeling good and I'm happy, and a lot of times when I can't do it, I'll lay there and I'll pray really hard to my angels. I'll talk to my angels because they intercede for God. They go back and forth. They tell God, come back and forth and so forth. And I ask them really hard, I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to change. I don't want to think like this anymore if I know that I did something that was wrong. And I say it out loud. Please help me. As much as you can, just please help me. So a healthy mind and a healthy body. Try to eat organic whenever you can. Try to stay away from fast food, which is loaded with soy. And soy is loaded 90%.
And salt.
90% of soy is genetically altered. And I just heard the other day, 90% of corn is genetically altered.
Yeah, there was actually just an article about that.
And they don't know what the long-term effects are. But when you're eating soy and corn, you're eating pesticides from Monsanto. And those pesticides help to cause cancer. They help to bring it out even more.
Cause a lot of things, cancer and stomach problems.
Yeah, you can only do, certain things in life are meant to be because they're your karma. But you can do what's best for yourself by eating healthy, living healthy,
thinking healthy,
helping one another when you can, lend your hand, what can I do to help? Things like that. They really are wonderful.
It's a long road for all of us.
Yeah, and we're here to help you. Call on us. Please call on us. We'll help you whenever we can. We'll come and talk with your groups, anything you want. We have to say goodnight now, so we're going to give you our contact information. So for more information about this show, call me at 203-627-7966 or email me at whitebuffalo8@comcast.net and visit my website, www.rosemarylachance.com, and look for us on Facebook. We have a page, and you can look on that, and you can post and read our posts. Okay?
And get that feeling in the solar plexus, like Hans was talking about, that zest for life. Get that feeling. You'll know when you feel it in there. It's like a rumbling.
Good night. Thank you for joining us. We love you.
See you next time.
Mwah.
Feel your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hands. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far